Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this Operation Big Sister Take Action tutorial. Welcome to our Civilian Army and the Jungle Telegraph. If you are watching this, you are either hosting an Operation Big Sister Take Action house party or you're attending one, and either way, that officially makes you a part of our growing civilian army spreading via the Jungle Telegraph, as the Big Sisters called it. I want to thank you from the heart for caring about humanity and caring about this issue. So this tutorial is designed to help you either as a house party host or as an attendee at a house party understand the heart of all of the work that Operation Big Sister is doing, which is how average everyday people like me and those that you can see on your computer screen right now can, with very little effort, no to very little money, and no personal risk at all, contribute to the efforts to end human trafficking. And in fact, the only way that we will end this scourge that President Jimmy Carter called the greatest human rights violation in the history of humankind is if each one of us is a drop in the ocean of change. And so welcome to the ocean. We're going to look to, and again, I want to say this is the most important part of what Operation Big Sister is doing, and it's the most important part of the house party if you're hosting one or attending one. And what I'm going to do is share my screen and bring you over to our Operation Big Sister webpage. And I'm going to ask the attendees in our tutorial, who very generously donated their time to be the first to see this page, to follow along, and just as if you're at a house party learning about this issue, I'll be asking you questions. So when you come to the Operation Big Sister homepage, you're going to take your guests over to the Take Action page, which you can access here on this puzzle piece, Learn How You Can Help, or you can also access it in this upper right-hand corner, Take Action. And if you click on that, you're going to see a couple of Take Action wheels come up. So there's information about how you could host your own house party. Then there's two Take Action wheels. The first one, and you want to make sure to scroll down to the second wheel. So we're just going to start here at our virtual house party tutorial with the first wheel. And I'm going to ask, just as you would at your house party, everyone who's here just to look at the different spokes on this Take Action wheel. Are there any that stand out to you as who you are and something that you could do, or someone you know that could benefit from that spoke? And let me know if you see any of them that you'd like me to click on. And if you're on this tutorial live, you can unmute yourself by clicking on your microphone in the lower left corner. Usually it's the lower left corner of your dashboard.
Hey Sheva, it's Mary. I'm curious about, I work in health or social services. Would that include life coaching and alternative, energy work and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so there is an alliance partner of ours called Shared Hope International that has created an extensive program for those who work in health and social services on how to recognize when someone is being trafficked and what intake questions to ask when you're working with people in that context and how to intervene. So that link takes you here, where for just a tax-deductible donation, you can receive that whole resource package. Thank you, Mary. And we'll go back to the Take Action page. Anyone else see one that stands out to you that you'd like to see how it works?
I'm a parent.
Yeah, me too. I'm a parent.
So we have a bunch of resources for parents and teachers. And as you can see, when you click on I am a parent or a teacher, we have alliance partners that are bringing educational curricula into high schools. We have an alliance partner at the Children's Defense Alliance who has taken the Marine military codes of color and translated them into self-protection skills that children from all the way from ages 4 to 18 can learn to prevent themselves from being trafficked. And then we also have an alliance partner at the Misrepresentation Project. Actually, it's called the Representation Project, but there's a film called Misrepresentation that educates girls and boys in gender-specific ways about gender-toxic conditioning and role-playing to prevent kids, again, from falling into the toxic masculinity and femininity that drives, ultimately, human trafficking. There's also a parenting manual that partners of ours in Canada came out with. Some of it's Canadian-specific, but a lot of it is general enough that any parent could benefit from reading it, and all of those resources are available at no charge. So if you click any of these, it will take you to our partner websites where you can learn more. So for example, you can go to the Children's Rescue Alliance, and not only can you help bring education to your own children, but you can bring education to their classrooms and prevent perhaps hundreds of children from this horrible destiny. So thank you for that. Any questions about that one?
Yeah, so Sheva, if you're a grandparent or a relative, an aunt, or just like maybe a retired person who, used to be a teacher or whatever, this would be a good one to click on.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Or to send to someone you know.
Say that again?
Or to send to somebody that you know.
Yes, well, yeah, I'm thinking of my daughter-in-law, but I'm staying with a woman who used to be a teacher, and she's older, but she's very interested in this, and I'm going to refer her to it.
Great. And that's one of the things we hope you do. That's a critical part of taking action, is the Jungle Telegraph, sharing the resources that other people are uniquely positioned to act on with them, because we feel that all good people, if they knew there was something they could do, would do it. Any others stand out to anyone?
Yeah, I'm a guy, and I'd love to help.
Thank you, Robert. So there are amazing resources for men to get involved in this issue. We have 2 partners that we're working directly with. One is Epic Project, and like the Big Sisters, whose story you will have heard or shared at your house party, our partner Tom at the Epic Project put together what he calls a bunch of guys. And they do what the Big Sisters did. They place decoy ads and intercept buyers and have guy-to-guy conversations with them. Like, dude, what are you doing? Wake up and smell the egg rolls. Did you know that you're contributing to modern day slavery? So you can be not necessarily a big sister, but one of a bunch of guys who is doing what the Big Sisters did with Epic Project. And so that link takes you to their website where you can learn more about that. Also, the United Nations, UN Women, and our partners in Iceland created, through the He for She campaign at the UN, something called the Barbershop Toolkit. And this Barbershop Toolbox is a resource for guys to start a conversation with other guys about stepping up and ending gender-based violence. Because, of course, not entirely, but more often than not, it is men who perpetuate gender-based violence and men who are buyers of sex. And so getting a guy-to-guy conversation going, don't underestimate the power of that. That is the greatest, perhaps, leverage we have to change the tide of this scourge. So thank you so much, Robert. Any questions about that?
No, that's great.
I have a question, Sheva. Are all these links you're showing us links that someone who goes to I Am a Guy can get to?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And you use extra circles that come up. Host an event goes to the Barbershop Toolbox, and
Okay.
Inspires goes to the Epic Project.
Okay.
Bunch of
Okay.
guys.
You know, I do have one other question. I have a friend who I recently learned actually does watch quite a bit of porn. How could I guide someone who's not interested? I don't know. Do that sensibly to help him understand the impact he's having. Doesn't quite get it.
So and most people don't. Most people don't realize that porn is one of the primary drivers of sexual exploitation and modern day slavery. It does that in a number of ways. The vast majority of people in pornography are exploited themselves, and porn increases demand for exploitive sex. So it increases demand for human trafficking. And so we're really thrilled with our alliance partner at Fight the New Drug. They've created a beautiful, comprehensive website that educates people about the 3 ways that porn harms. And while for your friend, Robert, he might not be so concerned about its impact on society because he might not buy into that, this website starts with how it damages your brain and how it also damages your relationships. So it would touch him at a very personal level, and you could speak to him. I'm assuming it was a him. Maybe it's a her, but you could speak to whoever that is about that really you're coming from a genuine care for them as your friend.
That's great.
Yeah,
thank you for asking.
Sheva,
Anyone else?
Yeah, Sheva, on that same topic, I may know a woman who could benefit from this. Is it the same kind of thing that you would do?
Yeah, absolutely, of course. That's gender neutral. It damages us all.
Sheva, this is Margaret. I'd like to understand if I suspect somebody is being trafficked, what can I do?
Great, and I'm just looking for your screen, Margaret. I know you're there somewhere. I'm going to shift to showing the speaker view. So if you suspect there's someone being trafficked, there is a human trafficking hotline that you can reach out to and contact. A national human trafficking hotline here in the United States. Most countries that will be seeing this tutorial do have some kind of resource like this. And if your country doesn't, you could always contact the UN. But here in the United States, we have this National Human Trafficking Hotline, which is where you'll be brought to learn what you can do if you suspect someone is being trafficked. And of course, if it's a minor, then you'll want to contact the local authorities.
Thank you.
Sheva,
Yeah.
what are the signs of someone? I mean, I wouldn't know if someone was being trafficked. I don't even know really what that means. I'm showing my ignorance here.
So then you'll be very interested. I'm going to scroll down to, where did it go? I work in hospitality. There it is. How many of you, let's just go to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. How many of you, just raise of hands, either stay in hotels, go to restaurants, work in a hotel, work in an airline, have a friend who works in an airline, a hotel, or a restaurant? Raise your hand. Just about everybody, right? And that's one of the biggest hotbeds for human trafficking. It's one of the places where we can actually make the biggest impact. So I'm going to bring you back into my screen share because this is going to in part answer your question, Mary. You don't have to work in hospitality to learn from this. Those who do work in hospitality, travel industry, are uniquely positioned to help the issue of human trafficking at no personal risk. Our partners at Airline Ambassadors and Nancy Rivas, who's just done an amazing job, has put together a basic human trafficking education program, which trains airline attendants and hotel concierges and restaurateurs how to recognize when someone is being trafficked. You can go through this yourself, and it will teach you the same thing. Now, if you stay in hotels, and then I'm going to scroll down to our second one, you can actually save a child's life just by uploading this app that's appearing on my screen now called Traffic-Cam to your iPhone or your smartphone, and taking a couple of photographs of each hotel room that you stay in. When you do and you post it to the app automatically tracks. You type in which hotel you're staying in. The app posts your photograph of your hotel room to a cataloged FBI site that is tracking pictures of exploited children on the dark web.
Oh.
And it runs those photographs against pictures of children and is able to match them almost instantaneously. So the FBI can go to that hotel and save a child. Hundreds, if not thousands, of children that had not otherwise been able to be rescued could be rescued just from one person posting a photograph of their room online. That, to me, is one of the most exciting things about our civilian army. We're using the tools that traffickers do, anonymity, media, technology, to both protect ourselves and intercept what they're doing. How many of you buy stuff?
How many what?
How many of you buy stuff? Did you know that your buying power is the power to stop human trafficking, both sex trafficking as well as labor trafficking? There are resources that will tell you whether the places you shop are involved in fair trade. For example, Sony was recently involved in a scandal because they gave a stipend to their overseas staff for purchasing sex. So you can boycott companies that are not taking a stand on this issue, or are even worse, endorsing and involving their staff in this issue, and you can support companies who are. Another thing you can do is go to hotels. There are some hotels who have human trafficking awareness training for all their staff. You can go to your hotel and ask them if they're one of those hotels. If they are, then you can go there more often. If they're not, then you can say, did you know that there's this great training program that you could employ for your staff through airline ambassadors? Another thing that you can do through our website as you are purchasing, to make your purchasing power work for you, is to go to our Shop for Dignity, which is on our I Buy Stuff page. We are compiling, here's an initial, our partners at Others Trade for Hope through the Salvation Army, NOMI Network, Sudara, Conscious by Kali. These organizations are empowering women who are traffic survivors with meaningful, dignified work, creating fair trade retail products. So when you buy their products, you're buying women's talents instead of their bodies. And that's very exciting. Also, you can, anything you buy on Amazon, Cuisinart, your supplements, your toothbrush, I don't know what, we buy everything on Amazon because we live out in the boondocks. It takes us an hour to get to the store. If you go to our Amazon Smile link, then Amazon donates a portion of all your purchasing power to our efforts to end human trafficking. Just to quickly highlight, there is an organization called Truck Drivers Against Trafficking. And truck drivers, like those who work in hospitality, are uniquely positioned to stop the issue. So if you know anyone who drives a truck, you can send them to our Take Action page, and they can join Truckers Against Trafficking. Also, how many of you know a lawyer? Raise of hands. Lawyers also are uniquely positioned to get involved. So I want everyone to send our Take Action page to the lawyers that you know. through our alliances at a partnership called, I'm losing you here, I have so many windows open now, through our partnership at Alight, have created an app that joins lawyers together with those who are in need of legal support to get out of human trafficking. And so if they click on I Am a Lawyer, it will take them to our partnership at Alight, where they can find out if the unique brand of law that they practice might be a tremendous service to someone who is trying to break free. So essentially, what you want to do as a house party host is open this up for dialogue. Take your guests through our Take Action page and help them identify what's at least one action that each of you could take. Those of you who are here in the live tutorial, did everyone see at least one thing you could do to make a difference? So, and it doesn't cost you anything, does it? Perhaps a small amount of your time, but you could save one or many children's lives just by taking a picture of your hotel room. So I'd like everyone here to just take a moment to pause and consider at least one of those things that you would do today. There's 3 steps I'd like you to take. One is consider one of those things that you could do today, either before you leave the house party or when you leave. And make a commitment to yourself and to the 70 million enslaved persons that you will take that action today. And I'd also like you to identify at least one thing that you could send to someone you know, that you could send them our Take Action page and bring their awareness to that. And finally, we want to invite you to, if you'd like to continue to be a part of our civilian army, we want to invite you to join us at OperationBigSister.com on our homepage to get updates. You can join our newsletter in that bottom puzzle piece right there. And of course, if you'd like to host a house party of your own, you can do that from the Take Action page just by clicking to host a house party. We ask you to submit your contact information, and then we send you all the information on how to do that yourself. And this last piece is very important because we'd like to track how many actions are being taken. So we would like to ask you to post your actions on Facebook or Twitter. On Facebook, at Operation Big Sister. On our Twitter handle is at Operation Big Sis. Hashtag Take Action OBS. I'll let you infer what those initials mean. We've had enough of this BS at Operation Big Sister. We are changing the world together, but we can't do it without you. Thank you so much for stepping up and being a part of this Take Action initiative. For those here live on our Take Action tutorial, any further questions or anything anyone would like to share or ask? Is this helpful?
Shiva?
Yes, Margaret.
I just wanted to ask the references to house party, but I would like to know if it's possible to do this in local libraries.
Yes, you could do it at your local library. We have a poster in our Take Action kit that you can download and hang up at a local library, or you could do it at a church.
Okay.
Anywhere that people gather, absolutely.
And
Our
this
local,
is,
or actually our local grocery, Co-Opportunity Grocery, invites people to do, you know, sort of small gathering events like this. So community colleges might invite you to do that.
Mhm.
Yes, Mary, you had a question.
Well, just that if I go to Facebook, I can get to Operation Big Sister and
Yes.
post what I've done.
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
what I'm planning to do. Okay.
And using the hashtag TakeActionOBS.
For Facebook too? Okay.
Yeah.
OBS. Okay.
The Big Sisters always have to add that cheeky sense of humor. If you were all here in person, I would be toasting you with some champagne or some other nice fizzy drink in honor of how the Big Sisters do everything. But I will just celebrate you with bubbles from my heart. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you being here, and look forward to seeing your Take Action hashtags. Much love, everyone.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Sheva.
Yeah.